Shalom, Brother Aaron. First and foremost, I want to say call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Shavagah Kadash. So all praises to the Heavenly Father, in the name of His only begotten Son, through the Holy Spirit. I want to give double honors to the elders and leaders of the nation, Yasha Allah, who push and teach this truth, the truth and sincerity. I also want to say shalom to the 1/3, the men, women, and children who believe wholeheartedly on the scriptures. I want to say shalom to you. Title of this lesson is No Pain, No Gain. All right? No pain, no gain. Okay, and basically that's an old idiom or cliche, which basically means anything worth having, or it's nothing good comes without suffering for. Okay, and it's kind of like even in the natural, those who know anything about, working out, exercise, I like to hit the gym, lift weights or whatever. Well, there has to be enough tension or repetitive stress on your muscles, okay, in order to see progress. Okay, you have to basically break that muscle tissue down by what? Repetition, continuous tension, stress, lifting in order to see results. Now, we apply the same thing spiritually. That's what the Lord does to us to grow us spiritual. Okay, the Lord tests, molds, shape, and grow us by allowing affliction. Okay, affliction. The Bible also talks about chastisement. Okay, who the Lord loves, He chastises. Okay, but that's used for our growth, our development. Okay, and as we're going to see, anything worth having, such as the kingdom, okay, is not going to come easy. So therefore, we have to learn to glory and embrace tribulation, affliction. When the Lord called us into this thing, okay, it's not like the world. Okay, everything is not supposed to be peachy and cream. Okay, the Lord has to baptize, He send you through that fire of affliction. Okay, so we have to get out of that woe is me type spirit. Understand why we go through what we go through. We believe in the Lord, we trust in the Lord and woke us up into this truth. That's why we go through what we go through. Okay, the Lord is shaping us so we don't have to be judged with this world. All right, so what are we working for? Okay, what is the end game? Okay, salvation. We working for a kingdom. Okay, that's the end game. We want to gain the kingdom. Okay, so let's start off with that. Let's get Acts 14 and 22. I'm gonna do most of this lesson in the blue letter. So this is Acts 14 and 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of God. See that? Through much tribulation, we enter into the kingdom. All right. Let me read it to the right hand, the NLT. Where they strengthen the believers, they encourage them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter into the kingdom. Okay, so we got to go through tribulation and hardship to enter into the kingdom. The end, what we trying to gain in the end is the kingdom. So in order to get that, is letting us know that's not going to be easy. Let's get this word tribulation. Let me read it one more time in the KJV. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. So tribulation, a pressing together, pressure, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits. So you see that? This is all the things we got to go through in order to get the kingdom. Okay, that oppression, affliction, tribulation. So it's not going to come easy. All right. Let's go to Sirach, not Sirach, but Second Ezra. I believe it's 2 and 7. Okay, Second Ezra, Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, and I'm gonna pick it up from the top. Let me turn off these notifications. One moment. Okay, Second Ezra 7:1. And when they had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me in the nights afore. And he had said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my God. And he said unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, and it might be deep and great. But put the case of the entrance were narrow, like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look up on it and to rule it? If he not go through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? So this is describing the kingdom. Okay, in order to get to the kingdom, it's showing you that narrow gate. Okay, we have to go through the hardship. Verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is built and set up on a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is sit in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were fire on the right hand, and on the left deep water. Okay, so fire and water can be dangerous. So in this case, this represents the different trials, tribulations, and hardship. In order to get to this kingdom, say it's like you walking on a tightrope. And if you lean to the right, what? You got fire. Fire consumes you. If you lean to the left, what? You fall, you could drown to death, representing the trials or hardships, the difficulties, and get into this kingdom. Verse 8. And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given into a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass through the danger set before it, how shall he receive its inheritance? See, in order to get to this kingdom, it's necessary. We have to pass through. We have to go through this hardship. No other way. Verse 10. And I said, It is so, Lord. Then he said unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was the decree narrow. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. See that? Full of sorrow and travail. They are built few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straits and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. Okay, so it's no other way to it. We have to walk this straight and narrow, but in order to get there, what? It's tribulation, it's constant hell, it's constant chastisement. All right, let's get Proverbs 3:11. Proverbs 3:11, My son, despise not the chastising of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he corrected, even as a father the son in whom he delight. See that? Now let me get that in the blue letter, that word chastisement, so we can see what we're really dealing with. What was that? Proverbs. Okay, this is the word chastisement. Discipline, chastising, correction, discipline, correction, chastisement. Let me get the root word. To chasten, discipline, instruct, admonish, to chasten, admonish, to instruct, discipline, to let oneself be chastised or corrected or admonished, to discipline, correct, to chasten, chastise, to chasten, to teach. Okay, so there's constant chastisement in order to teach us and shape us as part of our journey. All right, let's grab Proverbs 18:12. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. Okay, so remember, the end game is we all seeking that kingdom. We seeking salvation. Okay, but before honor is humility. The humility is the walk in this life now. That's the hardship. That's the constant trials and tribulation. Okay, that we got to deal with now. Okay, before we could get to what? The reward. All right, Sirach 2:1. Sirach and the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 1. Let me highlight some of this. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought up on thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Look at verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. See that? So we are likened to the Lord's jewels, his precious gold. Okay, so what it say? Gold is tried in the fire. That fire represents what? That chastisement, that tribulation, that trials, that hardship. This is why we go through what we go through. Let's get a quick precept. Isaiah 48:10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. See that? Now let's go back. Sirach 2:5 again. For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Fear ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not astray lest you fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting mercy. All right, let's get 1 Peter 5:6. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Let me read on down. That's what I want. Be ye sober, vigilant, because of your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion walketh and seeketh who he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the God of all grace, who had called us into his eternal glory by Yahushua Mashiach, after that ye had suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. Okay, so verse 9 and 10 is what I want to focus on. Let me read that again, verse 9. Who resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions, okay, that word afflictions, let's deal with that real quick. That which one suffers or has suffered, externally a suffering, misfortune, calamity, evil, affliction, of the suffering of Yahushua, also the afflictions which Christians must undergo in behalf of the same cause which Yahushua patiently endured, of the inward state and affliction, passion, and enduring, undergoing, suffering. You see all these definition, different meanings of affliction. Constant turmoil, suffering, calamity, evil, affliction. These are all the things in the walk of a true believer, okay, that you're going to experience, that we are experiencing. But we have to constantly remind ourselves, why are we doing this? Because sometimes it'll make you question your faith, okay? The constant denying yourself, the constant being the bigger person, turning the other cheek, okay? Not getting caught up in the world. Not doing what you really want to do. All these things, it'll make you really, you have, like it said in the Bible, we have to count the cost. Okay, understand that is no, without the pain, we cannot get the gain. Okay, so we have to constantly reinforce this. All right, let's go back to that now. Verse 10. But the God of all grace, who had called us into his eternal glory by Yahweh Shah Mashiach, after that ye had suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. Okay, so when we go through the hardship, the affliction, and all of that to the Lord's liking, when he see fit, okay, we gonna always come out on the other end. Okay, he strengthen, settle, and establish us. All right, let's get 1 Peter 1:6. Wherein greatly rejoice now for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations. Manifold temptations is the same thing. That's multiple trials, tribulations, afflictions at one time. Like you hear people say, when it rains, it pours. It's like all hell breaking loose at one time. Okay, well, the Lord is letting us know here, okay. Let me read it again. Wherein ye greatly rejoice for now for a season. A season is what? Temporary. Okay, it's not going to last forever. Okay, the Lord is looking at what? Our character. Are we going to endure? Okay, are you going to continue in the faith? What is your integrity? Are you going to be like Job's wife, say, curse the Lord and die? Okay, that's what the Lord is looking at. The middle of verse 6. If need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire. Okay, remember we read those precepts? The Lord tries in the furnace of affliction. Though it may be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who having not seen ye love, in whom though now you see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. Okay, so once again, that's the reward. We see at the end of our faith, that's what we receive, the reward. All right, let's get Hebrews 5:8. Though he were a son, yet he learned obedience by the thing in which he suffered. This is talking about Yahweh Shah. Okay, so he sets the order. He's the ultimate example. But it's letting you know, even he was taught by what? Things he suffered in life. So the same thing. This is showing you part of this walk, how the Lord molds, shape, and grow us. Okay, it's going to be through the afflictions that we suffer. Okay, Hebrews 12. Let's see. Hebrews 12:5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, and scorcheth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastising, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he who the Father chastiseth not? But if you be without chastisement, wherefore all are partakers, then you are bastards and not sons. So if we don't go through that hardship, some type of affliction, some type of situation to always constantly keep you on your knees, keep you fasting, praying, seeking the Lord, that's a telltale sign that the Lord ain't dealing with you. Okay, just like in the natural, you have children, you're going to correct your children. You discipline, you chastise any child that you love. Okay, well, we are the Lord's children. See, so the world has it backwards. Every time something go, oh, the devil on me, or you ain't doing it, the Lord mad at you. No, it's the other way around, if anything. But nonetheless, this is showing you this is part of the progress, part of the process. Okay, so let me finish. Let me read verse 8 again. But if you be without chastisement, wherefore all are partakers, then you are bastards and not sons. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much more rather be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For verily for a few days chastise us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. partakers of his holiness mean what? Share the inheritance, the promise. We get the kingdom with him. So that chastisement is necessary. So we can be partakers of his holiness. All right. 1 Peter 4 and 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you. So this is what I was saying a minute ago. A lot of people, like in the world, you have it back, think it's some strange, oh Lord, woe is me, well, I look like I can't win for losing, everything. Like, no, if you of the Lord, Lord is going to constantly put you in certain situations to constantly try you, grow you, mold you. All right, verse 13. But rejoice inasmuch as ye be partakers of Yahweh's suffering. See that? That when his glory shall be revealed, you may be glad also with exceedingly joy. And if ye be reproached for the name of Yahweh, happy are ye, for the spirit of the glory of God rested upon you. See that? On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. So this go to show you the difference of the world. They go through that reproach or hardship. They'll speak evil about the Lord. Okay, oh Lord, this something always God. This can't be God or something like that. But what? On our part, he's glorified because we understand. We thanking the Lord to a certain degree for those tribulations because we know the Lord dealing with us. That means the Lord what? The Lord chastising. He corrected me. Okay, he's still, all praises, he's still dealing with me. Okay, verse 15, let none of you suffer as a murderer or a thief or as an evildoer or as a busybody, other men's matters. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify Yahweh in this behalf. See that? Let's get James 1 and 4. We'll pick it up at 1, actually. James 1 and 1. James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. See, James understands. Why is he saying count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations? Verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. See, so we see it's the end game. Where this suffering is not for nothing. There's trials, the chastisement, the hardships we go through in life. We're not just going through hell just to be going through hell. See, the part of spiritual maturity is growth, is recognizing why you go through what you go through. What is the lesson you taking from of it? What am I learning from this? See that? And when we get to that point, that's when we can have confidence and rest, because we know, like when we talking about this whole lesson, we know, okay, this is the Lord growing me. Okay, let me read verse 3 again. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect, entire, and wanting nothing. Okay, so it's a method to this madness. Okay, well, we feel like it's madness or what? No, the Lord know what he doing. Verse 5. Let me see. Well, y'all stop at 4. That's the point. Let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect, entire, and wanting nothing. Okay, the Lord is making us spiritually perfect in order to what? Because we're going to need everything we can in order to get to this kingdom. All right, let's get a precept. Hebrews 10 and 32. Let's start there. Hebrews 10 and 32. But call to remembrance the former days, in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions. So this is talking about the beginning of our walk. Remember we read Sirach 2 and 1 in the Apocrypha? My son, when thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So when the Lord really calls you, you can expect what? He has to strip everything away from this world. Okay, the thing is kind of like in the military. Okay, what do? They first break you down and where they build you back up. Okay, psychologically. So this is the process of what the Lord does to us spiritually. He called us from out of this world. Okay, a lot of brothers might suffer affliction in different ways. Okay, they might have lost jobs, certain things, or resources, or things that the Lord allows Satan to give you in this world. Okay, so when we first came into this thing, a lot of us had to be humbled, is what it's saying. Okay, so let me read that again. But call to remembrance the former days in which after you were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions. And illuminated just means, well, when the Lord quickened us, illuminated means light. He gave you this understanding. But the point is, ye endured a great fight of affliction. So all hell broke loose in the beginning. Verse 33, partially while ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions, and partially while ye became companions of them that were so used. For he had, you know what? I'm going to read this in the blue letter. Okay, sometimes the blue letter in the NLT version, okay, for edification purposes, make it a little, let's see, simpler for the listeners. So let's go here. Okay, I'm going to read from the NLT. I'm going to start back at verse 32, and we're on the right-hand side of the NLT. Think back on those early days when you first learned about Yahushua. Remember how you remained faithful, even though it meant terrible suffering. Sometimes you were exposed to public ridicule and were beaten, and sometimes you helped others who were suffering the same things. Verse 34. You suffered along with those who were thrown into jail, and when all you owed was taken from you, you accepted it with joy. You knew there were better things awaiting for you that will last forever. So do not throw away this confidence. Trust in the Lord. Remember the great reward that it brings you. Verse 36, be patient, endure what you need now, so that you will continue to do God's will. Then you will receive all that he has promised. For in just a little while, the coming one will come and will not delay. And my righteous one will live by faith. Okay. So the point is instead of reminding us of those afflictions, those trials, endure. Okay, endure to the end. The Lord see what we're dealing with, okay, because what? There's a reward attached to it. All right. Let's get 2 Timothy 2 and 3. I'm gonna read it in the NLT to the right. Endure sufferings along with me as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. Soldiers don't get tired up in the affairs of civilian life, for then they cannot please the officer who enlisted them. Okay, but the main point I want is verse 3. Endure sufferings along with me as a good soldier of Yahushua, showing you that suffering is part of the process and endurance is necessary. Okay, we cannot faint. Let me get a couple of those real quick. Galatians 6 and 9. Let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So once again, we're reinforced through the scriptures that if we can endure, there's a reward. What are we reaping in the end? We reaping the kingdom. Okay, we reaping that crown of glory, that victory, if we faint not. Proverbs 24 and 10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. Okay, so we can't faint, we got to endure. Let me get Job 13:15. Though he slay me, yet I will trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before him. What does it mean, though he slay me? That's that constant affliction, that turmoil, that chastisement. Okay, the Job is saying, though he slay me, what? I'm going to maintain my ways before him, meaning what? My integrity. I'm going to keep the faith. Even though I go through this hell, this affliction, this hardship, I'm still going to serve the Lord. Okay, I'm not going to let that entice me or kill my faith or make me fall back. I'm going to keep pursuing. All right. Let's see. Let's get Psalms 119 and 67. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I have kept thy word. In verse 71, it is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Meaning what? That affliction, that chastisement draws us closer to the Lord. All right. Let's get 1 Peter 3, not 1 Peter, that's 1 Timothy 3 and 11. Let me see something. What was it? 2 Timothy. Yeah, that's what I want. 2 Timothy, Salaki. 2 Timothy 3 and 11. Let's see where I want to start actually. Let's start at verse 10. 2 Timothy 3 and 10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch and Lyconium and Lystra, what persecutions I endured, but out of them all the Lord delivered me. Yea, and all that will live godly in Yahushua Mashiach shall suffer persecution. See? So once again, Paul is reiterating those persecutions, those afflictions, all the hell and hardship. Okay, what it takes to serve the Lord. And then verse 12, what lets us know, yea, all, it's everybody who truly serving the Lord. All they that will live godly in Yahushua Mashiach shall suffer persecution. All right, and let's to make sure we all on the same page. Let's look up this word persecution. To make, to run, to flee, to put to flight, to drive away, to run swiftly in order to catch a person or thing, to run after, to press on, figuratively, one that is in a race swiftly. Let me jump down to, let me see. Okay, here we go. In any, this is the second part, that is in any way, whatever, to harass, trouble, molest one, to persecute, to be mistreated, suffer persecution on the account of something, without the ideal of hostility, to run after, follow after someone, to pursue, to seek after eagerly, earnestly, endeavor, to acquire. Let me see if we have this root word. One who executes the commands of another, master, servant, attendant, a servant, a king, a deacon. Okay, but for the most part, we see it's trouble, affliction, all of things we've been going over. All right, let's see what else. Let's get Acts 9 and 15. Acts 9 and 15. I'm going to read in the KJV first. But the Lord said unto me, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and the kings and the children of Israel. Verse 16, for I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. So this is dealing with the Apostle Paul, okay? And when the Lord first woke him up, and Ananias was like, "No, you heard how much evil he done? He used to persecute the believers and all of those type of things." And the Lord told him, "Look, leave him alone. Don't speak against him. He's a chosen vessel unto me." But the point is, verse 16, "For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake." So showing you again, when you are a chosen vessel unto the Lord is going to have to put us through that suffering, that constant affliction, that chastisement, for what? His name's sake. And let me read it. Let me read it in the right hand side, in the NLT, verse 16. "And I will show him how much he must suffer for my name." Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. Okay. Let's get 2 Corinthians 11 and 21. And I'm reading it in the KJV to the left. "I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak. Howbeit, wheresoever in any is bold, I speak foolishly, I am bold also. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of Yahushua? I speak as a fool." So Paul is about to boast a little bit of his afflictions, his sufferings. Okay, "I am more in labors, more abundant, in stripes above measure, imprisonment more frequent, and debts often. Of the Jews 5 times I received 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned. Thrice was I shipwrecked, a night and a day I have been in the deep. And journeyings often, and perils, perils, meaning hardships, troubles, of waters, and perils of robbers, and perils by my own countrymen, and perils by the heathen, and perils in the city, and perils in the wilderness, and perils in the sea, and perils among false brethren, and wherein and painfulness, and watching often, in hunger and in thirst, and fast and offering, in cold and in nakedness, besides those things that are without, that which cometh up on me daily, the care of all the churches. Who is weak? And I am not weak. Who is offended? I am burned not. If I must needs glory, I will glory of the things which concern my infirmities." Okay, so all of these are different examples, okay, of suffering, hardship, and chastisement, okay, that Paul he made a list of running down, okay, and some of these same things what we deal with or will have to go through, okay, but the point is through this lesson, we have to constantly remind ourselves, constantly build ourselves up in the spirit, okay, to remind us why it is that we do this, okay, that pain is necessary, because what? Without the pain, there's no gain. Let me close out right here just to show you, though, there's great reward. Okay, so we're not running a race for nothing. Okay, let's get Romans 8:18. "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us." Okay, so the sufferings, that's the hardship, chastisement, the hell we catch now on this side, it's not worthy to be compared to the reward. Okay, the reward that we're going to get for its seeds. Okay, the little short time tribulation and pain that we have to go through on this side. So in other words, it's worth it. Okay, the ends justify the means is what it's saying. And a quick precept, let's get 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. "But as it is written, eye had not seen or ear heard, neither have it entered into the hearts of man, the things which Yahweh had prepared for them that love him." And let's close it out here. 2 Corinthians 4:17. for our light affliction. See that? For our light affliction, what is but for a moment, worketh for us a far exceeding and eternal weight of glory. See? So this light affliction, and notice it calls it light compared to what? The far eternal glory that we have to look forward to. Okay, so we have to remember this moving forward. All right, so there's been no pain, no gain. I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Till next time, we'll say shalom. We out.